Hello, Aquarians. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back to you. And for those of you who it's your first time, welcome. I'm Denise. This is Surrender to the Flow Tarot. And today I'll be doing the March monthly reading for the collective of Aquarius. So any of the 11 placements, they will all work. Okay, so monthly readings are broken down into weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll pull cards for how it starts and how it ends, and then we'll clarify. And at the end, I pull one card for an overall last word of guidance for you from the universe. I am using Major Arcana only this week for the how the weeks start and how they end. We're going to start with the Augure Ex-Anima, and we're going to do how they end with the White Witch Tarot. And then I'll use full tarot to clarify, and we will need to clarify. I will also have all the weeks listed with timestamps in the description box below so that during the month, if you want to come back and check on and see where you are in comparison to where the reading went, you can do that. Okay. Are you ready, Aquarians? Move this thing. Ignore all of this. I've been going through it the past couple days. Going through it. Okay. First I'll do all how the weeks start, and then we'll do how the weeks end. Ready, Aquarius? Week 1. How's it start? How does week 1 start? Justice. Nice. Week 2, how's that start? The Tower sideways going into the upright. Okay. That looks like there's a possibility to avert the Tower. Temperance sideways going into the reverse. That's like, Temperance is a test of the universe, temperance and strength. And temperance is a test of timing, of patience, of letting go of control, of letting go of the wanting it done right now, and understanding there's nothing you can do to change how fast the thing is happening. It's divine timing. And so the only thing for you to do is just focus on the care and keeping of you and your steps towards your goal. All right, week 4 ends with the Hermit. All right. On the bottom is the Magician. And the Star, which is you guys underneath that. So we're talking about like your dream fulfillment. There's like you're working toward a dream right here. A wish come true, a dream. That's underlying it. And you're manifesting. You're working on making something happen in the 3D. So let's see how all the weeks end. Aquarius, you ready? How does week 1 end? How does week 1 end? These cards, in every single reading except for 2 of them, the shuffling of this deck specifically, in one reading it took like 10 minutes, if not more than that, for all 4 weeks. It's just, I don't know what it is with this deck and this reading. It's this deck and this reading, because I use this deck often. There we go. Death. There's a major you going right now, going through a major rebirth of yourself. Week 2, how's it end? Looks like it's feeling kind of stressful for you. It doesn't feel like a relief. It doesn't look like it feels like a relief type of rebirth. It looks more like it is stressful. Week 2, how's it end? the Hangman, bunch of horizontal cards, sideways going into the upright. Okay, so that is telling me that there's information that you need to gather from, there's information that you still need, and that you've been looking outside of yourself for it, and it looks like you need to look inside for of yourself, or like a combo of both. Do you know what I mean? We'll figure it out when we get there. Week 3. Week 3. Week 3. Strength. That's the other test of the universe, and this is for underneath Temperance. Jeez. You're really being tested by the universe to really count on yourself too, to count on yourself to, what am I trying to say? When the Strength card comes up, that's a test for free will and discipline. It's when we have been engaging in some kind of behavior historically or whatever, or, you know, a pattern for our lifetimes, and we're presented with a similar pattern again, and it's, or trigger, right? And we're presented with the opportunity to make the choice to use whatever we need to do to stop that behavior. We have to dive into ourselves first, you know what I mean? And get the willpower to say no, or to make the change, or reach out for help, you know what I mean? But it has to come from inside of us, and not from like somebody out externally helping you start the motion. Do you understand? They can help support you once the motion is started, but the motion needs to be started by you. It makes sense? All right. Nothing came out yet, though, for week 3. That Strength just popped up. It leads you into week 4 into the Hermit, which is healing, which is serious healing, which is when you put yourself in solitude, right? Your peace. You put your peace, you hold your peace in a level of solitude. Does that make sense? So that you're retreating to refill your energetic reserve and preserve it, and really just do some deep diving internally for some more things that need to be healed up internally, from you know what I mean? Oh my word. See what I'm saying with these? The Sun. That's beautiful. That's you and your authentic self, and your most embodying your most authentic self and your power, and where you're so strong in it that you're like a beacon of light, because you can't be anything else, because you're so surrendered to the flow, right? You're committed to the flow, and therefore the things around you are also matching your level of frequency, because you're vibing so high. So it's like happiness. You choose to be in a state of happiness. Happiness is a state of being, like love. Joy is the emotion. Happiness is the state. You feel me? Week 4. How's it end? Yeah, my fingers super cramp up from all this shuffling. Week 4. The Fool. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And the Chariot on the bottom, and Strength underneath that. Okay. So it looks like the underlying for how all your weeks start is you manifesting, you actively manifesting something that has to do with like a dream come true for you. And part of it is a reward from the universe. Like this next phase of your life, you're being rewarded from the universe. And part of it is, of the reward is going to come from work you're doing, and part of it is coming from the divine, right? So that's overall for the beginnings. And for the endings, it's a learning to merge your light and your dark sides, to make friends with both sides, to understand how they manifest and show up. And all of the work you do and all of the energy that you feel as a result of that is your psychic abilities are in tune, your intuition is tip top, right? You are in a place where all of that stuff builds a momentum. That's not the right word. Where you are now heading like straight, strong, full speed ahead, but not in a reckless way, to the next part of your life, to the next part of your truth, right? Okay, so let's see how your weeks break down. Week 1. Start with justice, end with death. That's pretty beautiful. That's beautiful. So something has happened recently, and all the cards are out on the table. And at the end of this, at the end of whatever this was that happened for you, it was very clear for you who the next version of you needs to be, who the bigger expanded version of you is. And it's a calling, like the karma is served, right? And it's time for you to move on to the next phase of you, which is the death card, which is the rebirth. So let's see, we're going to use the Night Sun Tarot. What are we going to ask here? What is the justice that is being served? What is the justice that is being served? The Nine of Wands. It's the payback for all the really hard work that you've been having to go through for your life and going through, that you've had to deal with. And it has felt like it's been so difficult and such a struggle where you're exhausted and you just want to give up. And this is the universe saying, don't, here you go. You've reached the end. You're right there. Don't give up. Keep just focusing on you. Focus on the care and keeping of you. The star, that's literally you guys. That's what's going on. So in this first week, you're getting everything you need. It might feel like everything is actually unraveling, but it isn't. What you need to focus on the care and keeping of you, and the care and keeping of your relationship with your highest self and with source, and everything else is going to come right into view, okay? Just put your focus on that right now. All right, let's look at the death card. What does that look like for Aquarius? What does that look like? What is the death card looking like? How is death presenting for Aquarius? The Four of Cups. The World. The Queen of Cups. So this is related, directly linked into relationship. I think it's you. I think you are the Queen of Cups in this case. It's Cancer. It could be any water sign, but it doesn't have to be any of them. But I'm thinking that it's you. Let me pull another one. Hold on. It feels like it's a rethinking of, a reconsidering of a relationship, and there's like the dynamics of it. I know that's vague, but I mean, hopefully it'll get a little clearer. It's definitely like you're doing a balancing act with like keeping yourself kind of safe from being completely open and involved in more intimate or into a more intimate relationship. Do you feel me? It could also be about like how to fortify your unconditional love and learn how to put some emotional detachment in there in the healthy way so that you are not so emotionally attached to things. Do you know what I mean? And you're able to see them from a clearer view. Another one for death. Aquarius. This is a whole fucking deck. I'm like, well, there's like 75 cards in here. Thank you for the love of Pete. Okay. The Devil. Okay. Yeah, that's what it looks like, a pattern of yours to keep yourself removed from being vulnerable and open. The Queen of Cups again, this time sideways going into the reverse. Okay, interesting. The Magician, which you already got, and the Queen of Wands. So the Magician and the Queen of Wands are Aries. I'm going to read who showed up, okay? You have Aries, Aquarius, Libra, Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo, Aries, Leo. Who's the Hangman? I don't think actually anybody is the Hangman. Yeah. Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries. Just you don't have to be any of those things, but I'm reading them just in case. Okay, so can you give me another card for the Devil? There's definitely a pattern that you have that's toxic, that is surrounded, enmeshed in intimate relationship, in love, in a love relationship. And definitely it feels like in the openness of it, like it has to do with the openness. Can you give me another card for the Devil? Can you make it a little, can you illustrate that a little clearly, a little more clear, a little, oh God, I can't even talk, for Aquarius, so that it's a little clearer. What is this toxic pattern? Really feel like it's you holding off. Your pattern is to run from relationships, to be scared of them, to sabotage them. The Ace of Wands, okay. The Nine of Swords. Is it this like feeling you get when there's something you're really interested in, and then this like strong feeling of excitement comes up, and like passion and all these things stir, and like you fight that plus holding off. Like it causes you anxiety. There's like this, maybe participating or letting yourself be fully open and present in certain things scares the fuck out of you. The Three of Swords. It has to do with, so it's tied into to heartbreak, and it's showing up as a pattern of how you present yourself in intimate relationships. That's what's changing. That's the world. The cycle of that is closing off. That's you, King of Swords. You are building up to stand in your power. Yep, the Nine of Cups and the Six of Cups. Whatever this next part of your life is, it's tied into your past life, and past life soulmate, and your dream fulfillment, like your literal dream fulfillment. So don't fight yourself on it. Don't stop yourself from getting there, and don't give up. Don't give up when things are hard. They're hard for a reason. There's something else missing, or another way we need to look, or something looks different than we think, even if it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So when those things happen and you get really frustrated and you can't figure it out, just switch your attention from trying to control the situation to just controlling your literal environment and yourself. Like, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you eat right, make sure you're meditating, doing something, you know what I mean? Taking care of your mental space. All of that stuff, and then the answers or something else will present itself to you. It really will. It's not a bunch of woo-woo. It actually happens. It can happen that way. Okay, week 2. Week 2, so you come out of all this over here with the Tower sideways going into the upright. So we'll see if you avert that at all. And the Hangman going into the reverse, which is not bad. The Hangman is when a shift of perspective is needed, and when it's in the upright, it's a shift of perspective needed from gaining information from outside of you. When it's in the reverse, it's a shift of perspective needed from information inside of you that you already know. You feel me? And this is like right on the edge of both of those. So, what does Aquarius need to know about the Tower to keep them in their highest vibrational good, in the path to their highest vibrational good? What can Aries, what can Aquarius do in regards that's connected with this Tower that keeps them, Aquarius, on the path to their highest vibrational good? The Queen of Wands, that's sideways going into the reverse. Okay, let's see if that's you. The King of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. I feel Emperor, Empress very strongly with all of this, even though neither one of them has come out. Okay, I'm not sure if this Queen of Wands is you. It could be you. Hold on. It's about standing in your power, which I feel like is too vague, in the self-confidence part of your power. What else about this Tower for Aquarius? Self-esteem is what I mean by self-confidence. I'm waiting to say more things about it until more cards come out. The Two of Cups. Going sideways, going into... You're a lot of horizontal cards. You're like going right back and forth. This must feel awesome for you right now. It must feel shitty. I'm very sorry, Aquarius. The Two of Cups going into the upright. One more. So this could be, you might have an Aries or a fire sign that is connected into this Two of Cups. the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Is it about, that's the Death card again. Yeah, it almost feels like it's about, like you're in the Four of Pentacles. You're running instead of growing. Your urges are to run and not really deal with what's going on. There's a fight between expansion and staying small. Staying where you are, which is probably enough, but it's settling. And it's like there's a fight between it. There's a fight from you to become your highest self. There's a resistance going on there. And it's tied into relationship. And it's tied into confidence also. I think it's also you're exhausted. You're fucking mentally exhausted and physically exhausted. So that is what I would say. Number one, take care of all of that first. Put everything else that you can put aside to take care of you first, to get you back. You know what I mean? What does Aquarius need to know about the Hangman? What is this shift of perspective that you want Aquarius to be aware of, universe? What is this shift of perspective? The Two of Wands. That's staying in your comfort zone or letting yourself go, move out of it. And it's with something exciting that's happening that has to do with like your heart's desire, but like your passion, and like melding your passion with your life, career that you're passionate about, place that you live that you're passionate about and inspired by, and stuff like that. What is the shift of perspective? The Ace of Wands. Okay, it's tied in to how your new beginning in this journey to your passion, full, rich, compassionate life is going to go. There's something about it that you need to shift in the way that you've been looking at it, because it hasn't been working out, right? The Sun, yeah. And the Hierophant. The Emperor. I knew that was coming somewhere. Judgment. I think this is about you embodying your Emperor state, whether you have Aries in your chart or not, whether you're male, female, non-binary, that none of that makes a difference on it. It's the energy. This is definitely something that is tied into past lives, which we already know, right? It's tied into you being in your most authentic self and power. It's tied into like ancestral stuff. So let's see what else. Okay. What about this Ace of Wands does Aries? Why do I keep saying that? Aquarius needs to shift. The Page of Swords. So a general mistrust, gathering information and feeling like looking outside of you for data, like gathering research and data and intel about a situation or a person, and having like a general feeling of kind of like of curiosity, but also there's like a level of mistrust, like there's a level of holding back because you haven't decided yet. And I think maybe that's what this is that you are stopping you are the obstacle right now to your new journey. And it has to do with the way you're looking at it and the way information is being received and shared. Can you give us another one for this shift of perspective? For this Ace of Wands on what does Aquarius need to do? Thank you. The Hangman. The Hangman. Got clarified by the Hangman. Yes, it's time for you to... Your shift of perspective is, yes, you need a shift of perspective. What? Okay, yeah, yeah. And it has to do with just the Seven of Swords on the split, the Seven of Wands. Like, it feels like you felt like you've had to fight, you know, for like, there's like a nobility I'm feeling, and like an unfair amount of like fighting that you feel like, and that you've had to do just to be seen for who you are. Especially, it's connected, the Lovers is on the bottom, to intimate relationship. This, I feel like the past few readings for you guys, for Aquarius, have been all about you getting yourself ready to be in a relationship. Like there's someone out there, I think. I feel like there's someone out there that you have an idea about, or it is just in general getting yourself ready to be open again, to be in a relationship. This is really funny that the Hangman came out. Can you give Aquarius one more card on this, what the shift of perspective is? What is required from Aquarius in order to reach the shift of perspective that's going to enable them to go on the path to their highest vibrational good? The sun is starting to rise over across the street, over the top of a building. The Three of Cups in reverse. It's kind of in reverse, going into the upright. It's sideways. Put yourself out there, friends, Aquarian friends. Gather your soul tribe. Don't be afraid to ask for support from the people that you know will support you, and put yourself back out there. Get yourself back out there. Love doesn't, justice again on the split, and the Judgment on the bottom. Grow yourself and rebirth yourself to your Emperor, to your strongest you, right? And if you do that, you're going to be wide open, but grounded. And that's what the universe wants you to do. You're not alone. You're not as alone as you think you are. You're not alone. You feel me? Okay, week 3. Temperance. Temperance is sideways, going as the reverse, which we don't want. And then it's followed by the Sun, which you do want. So curious. What can Aquarius do to get temperance into the upright? The Eight of Cups. You have to walk away from things that are no longer fulfilling you emotionally and go for those last 2 cups. You've been stagnant for too long and keeping yourself low. Being too swayed, right, by obligation, by anything. You have not been in alignment with your highest vibrational good and the things that are best for you and the best for your heart, because of, I'm feeling strongly, and this might not resonate with all of you, of obligations that you feel tied to things that you have heart connections with, and you know what this is, and you need to walk away from it. That's what the Six of Swords is literally separating yourself. It doesn't have to be a permanent separation, but it's a straight up cutting off, removing yourself to go focus on where the path you're going ahead, the path ahead of you. The Magician again. Interesting that this is upside down, the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Let yourself be wide open and grounded. Yeah? Grounded. And take the action that you need to do. Because when you do this and you walk away from the thing that is not emotionally fulfilling for you, it's leading you right into your sun. So there's going to be some time. Temperance comes up when you need to understand that it's a divine timing. It's a situation of divine timing. So once you make your decision to leave, keep focused on you and just keep focusing on you. Okay, when you, like, if you get nervous or whatever, just try to redirect yourself to your focus on the care and keeping of you and moving you forward towards your emotional fulfillment, toward becoming you, the biggest, brightest you, the sun. Let's see. This card shows up as the sun in communion, co-creation with another entity to make a third entity, right? Let's see how that could be literally anything. It could be career, it could be home, it could be a person, it could be anything, a family. So what is the sun looking like for Aquarius? What does it look like for Aquarius when they reach this sun? Might have to pull a new deck because there's so many cards out already from this deck. I'm going to go one more time, and then if nothing comes out, I'm going to pull it from a new deck. When there's lots of cards already out, I like to use a new deck so that all of the cards that are already out have a chance to come out again. Yeah, we're going to do that. Well, the Ace of Cups is on the bottom, which is the beginning of the path to the next, to the phase of, it's the journey to unconditional love, which we already know you're on. Okay, we're going to use this one, which is the Muse. I don't even know where it is. Here it is. What does the sun look like for Aquarius? How are we doing on this light? Do we need more light? Ooh, did you see that? Right as I said, the sun popped up over there. It literally popped up out from behind that. That was so dope. Thank you. And we're reading the sun, the card, the sun for you. Oh, Aquarius, all the synchronicities. For real, those. Okay. For reals, though. See, I'm like, whoo, man. All right. What does the sun look like for Aquarius? That was the Five of Pentacles. It looks like you are no longer moving from a place of lack, of where you feel not good enough. You have, yeah, put that aside and you're standing in your power. The death, the rebirth has happened. The Four of Pentacles sideways going into the reverse. You are not holding on to settling anymore. That's what the sun looks like for you. You're choosing to not settle. You're choosing to let yourself go toward your biggest dream, even though I feel like you've already been doing that. It's just, and it hasn't happened yet for you. And so there's so much frustration. Just focus on you and the things that, and the care and keeping of you. And there's so many ideas and things are going to come up. Just go with the ones that work for you. Do you know what I mean? It's, let's see what else comes out. The Ace of Wands. All these sideways wanting to go into the upright again. The Ace of Wands already came out, right? It's not settling. You're looking at the bigger picture and you're becoming your biggest self. That's all I keep hearing is like, you're going to be explosive in the best way possible. just because, not because you're going to be like violent and hostile and in people's faces like that, but you're going to be so rooted in who you are. You're going to be so strong. You're going to be a force, the force of nature that you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to be, you're going to command attention without doing anything, just because your energy is, you're going to get it there. Look at that. Do you see that? What the fuck? That's never happened ever to me, ever in any of these readings. I had this table for a year. It's the Page of Cups. What? It's sideways going into the reverse. So this is letting yourself be open to love, and possibly you starting making the first move. Yeah, you heard what I said. You making the first move, Aquarius. Okay. One more about what does the sun look like for Aquarius. It looks like you being very aware of the thing, of your triggers and your behaviors that have held you down, and you are choosing to learn more about why and how to regulate emotions, or how to process through all of that. You are dedicating yourself to that. You're dedicating yourself to the process of that. You're getting yourself ready to do the deep dive into the Hermit, so that you can maintain this sun, yourself. You know what I mean? Again, with the horizontal cards, the Queen of Cups, for the love of God. Justice again, the Libra, Cancer, the Magician again, the Hierophant again, and the Four of Swords. It's all about fulfilling your soul contracts, completing ancestral cycles, and carrying on ancestral legacies, lineage, legacies, fairness, karma being served, right? You becoming you. You entering into a relationship also. Okay, Aquarius. Week 3. I mean 4. Week 4. Sorry. Week 4. I'm going to do that over. Okay. Wow. The sun has you in your power, moving forward, staying in the flow, honoring the flow of yourself, being in tune with your emotions and open with them. Your knowing and your being and your doing all are in alignment with one another, right? Okay, week 4, the Hermit. Starts with the Hermit, ends with the Fool. That's beautiful. That's introspection and reflection in order to preserve your energetic reserve and to refill it, and then coming out of that being ready to literally taking the first steps, the leap of faith into this next phase of your life with excitement, understanding better you and your capabilities and how you work, and having a stronger relationship with source and trusting that more, and having a general end goal, but not knowing how it's going to look and how you're going to exactly get there, but being okay with not knowing everything, right? So what is important for Aquarius to focus on during this Hermit phase, the Hermit stage? Where should Aquarius put their focus during this Hermit stage? Strength. Finding the line between counting only on yourself and letting other people support you. sometimes the first step you have to take is to know what to do, right? And then to take the steps. So sometimes what needs to happen is support. So let yourself ask for it if that's what it is. You don't have to do everything by yourself. It's gonna become clearer to you the things that need to start with you, and the things that you've been carrying that you don't need to, right? What does Aquarius need to focus on? The Hermit, the 9 of Wands, which came up in the first week, right? It came up somewhere. Yeah, in the first week, in the sideways going into the reverse. And this time, in the 4th week, it's in the upright, and it's do not give up. Don't give up when it's really hard and it feels like everything is not working. It's right around the corner. Don't give up. So this hermit mode for you is really looking at what you've been taking on that you don't need to take on, okay? Getting clearer about that so that the burdens you're carrying aren't there, or that they're definitely not as many. Let's see if there's another one. The 9 of Voices, sideways going into reverse, which is perfect where you want that. That's crippling anxiety. It's you learning how to, yes, exactly, how to view things, how to do things. The 9 of Voices is crippling anxiety, and you are getting rid of that. You're not getting to a place where you're powerless. You feel powerless in the situation and powerless to your ability to do anything. It's overthinking. It's because you're using overthinking in a situation that needs to just be stillness and knowing of yourself and the source energy, and so that it can come through. Does that make sense? Yeah. This is you too. The King of Swords on the bottom, that's you. And the 6 of Swords this is all about knowing when you need to separate yourself from things, like make a clean break in order to go focus on the next phase of your life, and to do that without feeling guilty or judgment or shame on yourself for having boundaries. Again, justice, and letting them be served. You feel me? You are worth your boundaries. Okay. The Fool. The Hermit is about you fortifying specifically to your King of Swords aspect. So you can Google that and look into that more, right? And do some meditations with the King of Swords if you feel like resonated, called to it. The Fool. What does Aquarius need to do to keep this Fool in the upright? Because that's where we want it. That's where we want it. The sun, the sun. Ah, it's beautiful out already. It's super early, but I was already out there real fast. The 6 of Cups. Okay, that's keeping like a reverence for the past and keeping it in perspective. Recognizing soul ties while not losing yourself. Is it going to fall out? Ooh, and did it fall into the upright? It sure did. This is the Mini Empress, the 9 of Materials. That is you standing in your power independently in a healthy way. Standing in your independence, but not being closed off. You're good alone, and you'll be good with someone. You don't need anyone. You want someone, because you want to experience it, right? And you have everything in place to keep your autonomy, to keep your alone time, all of the things all of the behaviors and awarenesses that you need to keep yourself strong, you have, and you're doing them, right? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I know, I feel like nothing is making sense coming out of my mouth. The World, letting this old cycle truly close up, of letting the pain of not heeding the call to become your biggest, widest, most authentic self, of not healing the pain and still carrying it instead of sitting down with it, looking at it and healing it. The wheel and the Hierophant. That's what has to happen right now, Aquarius, for you. You have to look at all these things you have not wanted to look at, those unprocessed parts of you that are still holding you down. You're at a time in your life where you know this, and you know that to run away from it is only going to continue to hurt you. So this is not going to be easy, but you are not alone. You can do this. You have everything to do this. Ask for help. Take care of you, the care and keeping of you, learn how to be okay with asking for help and for having boundaries, right? Let's pull one last card of advice from the Sacred Geometry Oracle. Invitation, and it was reversed. Some of them make a difference reverse and some of them don't. So we'll figure that out. Other dimensions. Yeah, this does have a reversed aspect. You have naively ventured into unknown territory. You are unprepared for what you may encounter or what may occur. Be advised to regroup and consider your goals and objectives before stepping blindly into the unknown. Caution is indicated. Lightworkers everywhere are exploring and adventuring into the realms of energy, light, and vibration, appearing as grids or matrices of light. Geometric vibrational fields connect everything in existence. From the infinitesimal to the infinite, everything vibrates to divine order. Even chaos theory makes sense when seen as part of oneness with spirit. This card represents a doorway, portal, or stargate. Within this vision, you may travel to other dimensions of time and space, places that may not even exist in third dimensional reality. Wow, this seems like it's coming out of nowhere, but I bet it makes sense to you. Giving yourself permission to explore is the first step. A deep connection with spirit and the ability to ground yourself solidly is the next essential measure. Gathering your courage to leave the security of the known and venture forth is the third. This card also depicts two guardian figures who will act as guides and protect you on your journey. Go forward and experience the wonders of the all that is. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? And also let yourself be opened up to these so clearly a bunch of portals are opening up to you, and you're about to get a bunch of downloads and have deepen abilities you already have, or discover that you have new, really deep psychic abilities. Sounds like a lot of fun, Aquarius. All right. I hope that this helped. Thank you for coming and sharing your energy with me, and for sharing space, holding space for me so that I could attempt to translate these messages. I will see you in like 2 weeks. It's your monthly. Okay, till then, bye, Aquarius.